So, I'm here with Natalie Calvert from CX High Performance. Natalie, really enjoyed your presentation at 6:17 this morning. You talked about people and performance, and it's a really crucial area within service desks. You talked about the costs. I think it was 72%, wasn't it, between staffing and management is the cost of people on your service desk, and it's about extracting performance from them though. Can you explain what the difference is between a high performer in terms of a member of your service delivery team and a poor performer?
Gosh, that's the golden question, isn't it really? So from the research that we've done, there's the difference in terms of cost base is that to employ a low performer versus a high performer, there's normally a difference of between either 1 in 4 or 1 to 7. Okay, so it's 7 times more expensive to employ a low performer than a high performer. Yeah. And conversely, performance-wise, you would expect a differentiator of around about that level as well. So if you were an okay organisation, it would be about 1 in 4, 1 in 7 would be good, and then 1 in 10 difference would be kind of reaching the real top of high performance areas. And that depends on how you measure performance, obviously, but we generally look at it as delivering world class, which we measure as very simply, I like things simple, James, 85-85. 85% of your metric are achieved 85% of the time.
And what is the end result of that? If you talked about some of the businesses that achieve world-class service, who are they? What do they become?
Okay, so there's 4 areas I think that, well, they do excel in. Number 1 is the easy area for a lot of people at this show, which is the process. It's about efficiency, it's about being smarter around customers, as long as those processes are designed outside in rather than inside out. i.e. it's designed with the customer in mind rather than the internal workings of the organisation and all its silo departments. So number 1 is around the process. Number 2 is around the employees. So employee engagement, a key metric for most organisations now, and what we find is that those organisations that have high performing employees are happier, they stay longer, they deliver better for the organisation. And they are in the quartile 1 performers, those top performers that you want to see. You've then got to work hard to keep them, but that's a different conversation perhaps. Number 3 is very simply around the business results. So time and time again, you can look in most places, you'll see some type of research report, and we found on the work that we've done that those organisations that deliver world-class service to their customers deliver 15% greater net profit than those that don't. It's a no-brainer really, isn't it? I mean, why wouldn't you do it? And that's the bottom line, especially in a world where all of us have got to get more out of less. We talked later on in another presentation about this digital match with the digital human agent kind of new standoff that we're going to have, and perhaps we'll have 30-40% digital and 70-30% human. It means those humans are going to deal with more complex things. They're going to deal with the real high-end stuff. They've got to be delivering great value and delivering better, faster and quicker. And the 4th area is very simply around the customer. So customer metric have to be up there, and delivering greater customer experience is about retention, it's about value, it's about loyalty, it's about customer growth. And it's closing the hole in the bucket. Yeah? It means you look after your customers, treat them well, and they'll stay with you longer and spend more.
Absolutely.
Long answer, I'm sorry, but there were 4 there.
That's good. So you also talked about the high performing characteristics. So there's 6 characteristics that high performers display. We don't have time to go through them all. But can you teach those characteristics, or do you have to be a little bit ruthless within business and see that actually certain people in my business are never going to achieve that, and then we've got a staffing issue?
Okay, so you have to look at people, you have to do proper strong capability assessments that not just look at skills and their levels of knowledge, but also look at their attitudinal capability to shift and make a transformation. But when we look at that does often require some ruthless work. But you know what? I found that whenever we've executed those types of programs, the people self-select and they realize the future isn't for them. Once you paint that vision of where you're going, they'll come forward 9 times out of 10 and say, actually, hands up, it's not for me. So the ruthlessness isn't so applicable. And the one that often stays out of that 9 out of 10 will often be the one that you'll give a go to because they're prepared to, and actually they're prepared to make a shift. Might take longer, it might not be perfect, but somehow or other you can generate that huge employee engagement by making sure the way in which you do it, the how you transform, is very, very solid and robust, yet inspiring for the future.
Do you sometimes then find that people that you would, on first glance, think they're not going to make it, they're not going to fit that mould, given that pathway and that development, can they suddenly flourish and show that actually they are capable of doing that?
Given the pathway, given the development, given the management, as much as you can provide all of the wonderful things, it's this key role of the manager wanting to buy in and make the change is key, critical to making it successful. I'm a great believer in the human being, of potential of humans, so I'll always give it my best shot, and often I've been shown that they will be fine. You don't win it all, do you? You can have a good time trying and making sure it's working for the organisation. So I would always try and give the benefit of the doubt. I'm not so much of a softie, but if someone's got an energy of being willing, often it's the organisation that's failed them rather than them just failing the organisation. So if we can put the organisational design right, if we can put the whole vision and purpose and measurements and performance management right, then they'll often come with it by the majority.
Sure. Natalie, it's been great talking to you. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome, James. Good to talk to you.